Welcome to Nicknames Volume. Who would have friggin' thought 54?
I've got some good old nicknames from serving in the British Army. First up, there was a guy who, while scaling a fence, fell back in the barrel sight up to the stock was buried deep in his rusty sheriff's badge. He was known as Muzzle Bum.
Muzzle Bum is a beauty.
This one here from Jeffrey Morley. We had a district manager we nicknamed the Muppet because everything to him was phenomenal. However, he would say it in the same tone as the Mana Mana song from the Muppets. Phenomenal. This was, my nickname was the Mothership. I was the tallest in my year at school, but also massively overweight, making my friends around me look like the one-man fighters from the film Independence Day, and me like I could destroy cities.
This is James from the UK. I have a mate we call Crossword. He hasn't got a full set of teeth, and when he smiles, the combination of white and black space in his mouth looks like a crossword. That's from Scott Latto. My mate told me he worked with a guy called Biscuits. He got run over, and then they called him Crumbs. That's from Zach in Perth. Two lads from our school, Bill and Sue. Bill was short with massive hairy feet. Bilbo Baggins, shortened down to Bill. Sue couldn't hold his bladder on the bus home during his first week at high school, so went in a cup but spilled it over, running down the bus, hence Tsunami. Even his kids call him Sue.
Sarah Keeney, guys, a bloke I know a few years ago, cycled everywhere, had a habit of going over the handlebars and knocking all of his teeth out. He spent a fortune getting his teeth fixed and was very happy for a few weeks. One day on his way to work, he's cycling along, minding his own business, when all of a sudden a cop car stopped, doors flew open, he went straight through the window, smashed all of his beautiful teeth out again. He was known as the tar inspector.
My roommate has a mate who is short and round and loved apples. And when he'd get worked up, he'd turn a shade of red and start sweating. They started calling him the glazed ham. It is time for Nicknames Volume 53. Shannon Drennan. I used to have a trade school instructor that loved to talk but never listened when somebody else talked. So we called him the crocodile, all mouth and no ears. Mark from London. Years ago, my dad was in a football team and they had a player nicknamed Jigsaw because whenever he got near the ball, he went to pieces. This from Jason Thompson. My older brothers have called me Elmo for years. As I got older, I asked where the name came from. My eldest brother said I would get sunburned after 10 minutes in the sun, then I'd spend the rest of the week moaning about it. So I became an annoying little red bastard named Elmo. Years ago, a friend of mine worked at a shipping container depot in the maintenance shed. Basically, they repaired damaged containers. Opening the container one day, they discovered it had been used as a toilet. There, halfway up on the back wall, in a fabulous Technicolor Dreamcoat style, was a massive turd. Immediately, they decided they wanted nothing to do with it. One guy decided that a jet washer was the way to go. He pointed the gun at the turd, pulled the trigger, and everything was okay until suddenly the turd came unstuck, bounced off the roof, and before you could know it, struck him right in the mouth, earning him the name Brad Shit.
Shit lips. Tom Barrington climbs in with my old manager at a bike shop in the UK. Was quite a chunky chap, so much so that his fingers were very, let's say, full. What didn't help things was that his fingers were also very short. They were so full and short that he earned the nickname Pig Tits after they looked like a set of pig's nipples. Pig tits. Brendan Reeves, no relation to me. One of my mates becomes extremely chatty when he's on the piss, almost too chatty, some would say. So we called him Waka Waka because that's what it sounds and looks like when you're listening to Pac-Man non-stop. He just doesn't shut up, this bloke. That's from TK Windsor. My late husband, who is no longer with us, rest in love. All the kids in the family, nephews, nieces and muckle, called him Uncle Floor Warmer because every time he was on kid duty, he was always asleep on the floor. So the kids would always tease him, asking if he can warm up the floor for everyone, especially at wānanga or big family gatherings.
That big fella. Mrs. Smith, don't really get that one.
Keep a name out of your mouth.
We're going under an alias. This is from Barry. We got a guy on our pool team, as in pool table pool, snooker, that's bald, and his last name is Black. Go Ninjas, go. That's from Craigie Danks, the Black Pearl.
Ooh.
Robert Hope. If he's completely bald, then it's spots. If there's a line of hair around the sides, then it's stripes. Craigie Large, tadpole. He's got a head like a racing tadpole. Raimundo Hinterdorfer, which is a sick-ass name. Call him Sinker, because you have to sink the black 8-ball to win.
Yeah, nice.
From Lukey McDonald, number 7, because that's the black ball value on a snooker table.
This one from Elliot Todd. He's got to be called Seal now. This from Maria Jeffcoat. Malteser. This from Mark Burns. Cannon. This from Stuart Grant. Mrs. Smith. Don't really get that one. And this from...
Keep a name out of your mouth.
This has got to be it. This has got to be it. From Ty. The unwashed potato. The unwashed potato is a beauty.